Okay, this is round 3 in a row. I'm trying to do catch up. What are we at? What's the date today anyway? April 24? Okay, so I'm pretty close. Okay, so I'll do. Anyways, I'm just thinking out loud there. Okay, focus to Bando. Ready? Deadlines. April 20th. It's me, LisaT, reading. Oh my God. We need to cut. Retake. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive energy. Reading The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. It's evening time, so it's lights out with Lisa. And here's your reading. Deadlines. April 20th. I don't know whether I want in or out of this relationship. This is just like quotation here, thoughts. I don't know whether I want in or out of this relationship. I've been struggling with it for months now. It's not appropriate to let it hang indefinitely. I will give myself 2 months to make a decision. So that's giving yourself a deadline. I guess that's what this thought is here. So you recognize that you're not sure where you want to be. So with a job, you recognize, oh, I don't know if I want to take this job or not take this job. I don't know whether I want to go to that party 5 months from now or not. I'll go to that wedding. I don't know whether I want to purchase that big new home. I don't know whether I want to do that. Well, if you're in that limbo state, then just give yourself a deadline. We can't let things hang indefinitely. So tell yourself, I'm going to give myself 2 months to make a decision, or 1 month, or a week, or whatever. Give yourself a deadline. I've had this unresolved problem hanging over my head for 6 months now. I'm confused. I'm not certain what to do. I'm going to give myself 1 month to come up with a solution. So when you find yourself in confusion over a decision you got to make, just give yourself a deadline. That's it. And then let it go. Sleep on it for a couple of days or weeks or whatever, and then revisit it. You got to give yourself a deadline, let it go, and then come back to it. Something will come to you. This is trusting the process as well. Something will come to you. Okay. Sometimes it helps to set a deadline. This can be true when we face unsolved problems, are struggling with a tough decision, have been sitting on the fence for a while, or have been floundering in confusion about a particular issue for a time. So, it helps to set a deadline. If any of those things are happening, if you're struggling with a tough decision, or if you've been sitting on the fence, or if you've been floundering in confusion about an issue, give yourself a deadline. Simple. We got to manage this thing. It's up to us to take care of this thing, including setting ourselves down deadlines, giving ourselves boundaries, keeping ourselves accountable. It's up to us to manage this being of life. Okay, so setting a deadline. This does not mean a deadline is written in stone. So if you set yourself a deadline for a week from now, it doesn't mean it's set in stone. You've just given yourself some sort of time frame. It means that we are establishing a time frame. I'm ahead of the game here, boys and girls. It means that we are establishing a time frame to help ourselves not feel so helpless, and to help bring a solution into focus. We're just starting to manage things. We set a deadline, not to beat up on ourselves, but just to give ourselves some sort of timeline to set a focus, set a point of reference. It's like you set a point here in the world, in your mental, and then you just focus on it. I don't know how I'm going to get there. And then as you move your way towards it, you figure out how to get there better. Okay, that does not mean a deadline is written in stone. It means that we are establishing a time frame to help ourselves not feel so helpless, and to help bring a solution into focus. Setting deadlines can free our energy to set the problem or issue aside. Like I just said, just so you set a deadline, then you can let it go, or set it aside to let go, and allow the universe or higher power and ourselves to begin to move towards a solution. I don't read this before I read it with you, I swear. Okay, we don't always need to tell people we've got a deadline. So you don't need to share it with anybody and say, okay, listen, I've set this deadline. That may set yourself up to feel guilty or ashamed or something. This is a contract you have with yourself. Like I said, the most important, most intimate, most amazing relationship you're ever going to have in your entire life, the longest, most dedicated relationship you're ever going to have in your entire life, is the one you have with yourself. So keep yourself accountable. You don't have to share a deadline with someone else. You don't need to tell people that you've got a deadline. Sometimes it's better to be silent, or else they may feel we are trying to control them and may rebel against our deadline. So someone else might not like your deadline. They might rebel against it. Sometimes it is appropriate to share our deadlines with others. Sometimes it is appropriate. I shared a deadline with my friend today. I said I have a deadline next November. I'm going to stay at a relationship until November. And she didn't like that. She wanted me to hop on the love train. And I was like, no, I really want to give myself this time. I'm really looking forward to it. It might even go longer. And she's like, no, no. And so she was kind of like pushing back against my deadline. And so, yeah, it's just a way to toggle between sharing when it's appropriate to share or not. It was good though, because I said to her, well, just not today. I'm not going to get in a relationship today. And I'll keep saying that tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Just not today. Okay. Anyways, sorry, I went off track. Sometimes it's appropriate to share our deadlines with others. Deadlines are primarily a tool to help ourselves. It's to help you. They need to be reasonable and appropriate to each individual situation. Used properly, deadlines can be a beneficial tool to help us get through difficult problems and situations without feeling trapped and helpless. So a deadline, it's a helpful tool so that you don't feel trapped. And so that it can help you through difficult situations so that you don't feel helpless. You just set a timeline and you know, we got all the time in the world, really. At the end of the day, you got all the time in the world to figure it all out. I promise you. Okay, so they can help us let go of worrying and obsessing. So deadlines can help you let go of worrying and obsessing so you can focus your energies in more constructive directions. Setting a deadline can help move us out of that uncomfortable spot of feeling victimized by a person or a problem that you can't solve. You're not going to be able to solve every single problem in this moment right now. There was a couple of things that came up last week, and me and my friend were both going through some things, and we recognized, and we're people that want to solve it today. I want a quick fix. I want a resolution today. I don't like to sit with it, because if I'm sitting with something, I'm going to worry and obsess. And both of us, me and my friend both, were able to say, you know what? It's not going to get solved today, and that's okay. And we were able to let go, and we were like, yay, look at us learning and growing. And by doing each of these things, you learn, yeah, you know what? It's going to get solved in time. Everything, at the end of the day, everything works out. It really does. Okay, so, so it can help you with problems that you can't solve. Setting deadlines will help you with problems that you can't solve in this moment. Deadlines help you detach and move forward. Here's your prayer. Today, I will consider whether a deadline might be helpful in some area of my life. I will claim divine wisdom and guidance in setting appropriate deadlines for any problems or relationship issues that may be lingering. I will claim divine wisdom and guidance in setting appropriate deadlines for any problem or relationship issue that may be lingering. Anything that is lingering over you, you can claim that divine wisdom and guidance will help you at a set deadline. By the time that deadline comes, your divine wisdom and guidance will come to you on what to do with your problem or your relationship. Okay, here's that prayer again. Today I will consider whether a deadline might be helpful in some area of my life. I claim divine wisdom and guidance in setting appropriate deadlines for any problem or relationship issue that may be lingering. That's it. Lights out with Lisa. See you. Thanks for watching.